Hey everybody, breaking news. There are more than one sources from Israel, and it's now being confirmed by CNN, BBC, and Sky News that Ayatollah Khamenei, who is the supreme leader of Iran, has been killed, is dead, and his body has been found. Now, these are all sources coming from Israel. Iran hasn't said anything about it, but because of Islamic custom, you have to bury the person soon. And so we will find out the truth about it in probably a few hours. And if this is true, it is a massive, massive hit to Iran's current regime. There's also news coming out that one of the main commanders of the Revolutionary Guard was also killed. So now the conversation comes up about what happens when there's a void, and experts are talking about how there possibly already is a structure of maintaining the regime, the Islamic republic that is governed by Islamic law, and the supreme leader is an Ayatollah, a priest, and maybe there's a line of succession to the next Ayatollah, and then there is the part of Iran. So that there's a demographic in Iran that wants that Ayatollah religious, Islamic republic based on Islamic law. And then there's an anti Islamic state where they want to be liberal, where they want to be part of the world, where they want diversity. And then there's a youth population. So, and the recent protests that happened last year, and that in which Iran's current government that was being led by Ayatollah Khamenei killed thousands and thousands of protesters, like thousands and thousands of protesters. And it's not a contested point. It is out in the news. So today, we stand at a point to see whether there is such a strong regime structure within the Revolutionary Guard and the Islamic line of succession in Iran versus the counter movement that already resulted in the deaths of thousands and thousands of Iranian young people. So if it is true that Khamenei has been killed, and even that general has been killed, it should be something that the world needs to pause about, and then it needs to see what to support, but base it wholly on Iranian popular sentiment. And by popular sentiment, I mean the difference between what happened in Afghanistan versus what happened in Ukraine. When Afghanistan was essentially betrayed by Donald Trump's administration, and the American government was forced to leave Afghanistan abruptly while leaving millions of dollars of American hardware there, as well as handing the country back to Taliban and releasing thousands of Taliban fighters before the withdrawal took place during Trump's first term. And what happened was that the president of the country fled. He took the choice and fled, and the Taliban took over Afghanistan in about 3 weeks. Contrast that to Ukraine, where Vladimir Zelensky, who had just been elected, is now been invaded by one of the largest military forces in the world. And Western powers offered to fly Zelensky out so he could lead an absentia. And he wrote back on social media that I need ammunition, not a ride. And to this day, 4 years later, Ukraine is standing as a proud republic that has taken thousands and thousands of casualties, but it is a democracy. Of course, the situation in Iran is very different because this regime has been in power for 47 years. And what system of government a vacuum would create, or what system of government a collapse of the Islamic Republic apparatus would bring, is something that is yet to be seen. Because as the news is reporting, this current regime has a habit of disappearing, killing, imprisoning the loudest and the best opposition, the strongest leaders that could lead an opposition. So now we'll see whether Iran's opposition can come to a place, the anti-Islamic Republic group can come to power, and that depends on the zeal of the Iranian people to get rid of this regime that has been part of Iran's history now for 47 years. These are some important questions, and also to see the resilience of the people who want a regime change. With that said, let's keep an eye on this developing news. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and I will talk to you soon.